Okay, I'd like to welcome everyone to our 10 at 10 for 10 training and leadership development. And I want to just jump right in there with an idea here that I think is very important, and that is let me just call on someone to kind of carry on a dialogue. Let me talk to Steve Thompson.
Okay.
All right, Steve. So let's say that you have 1,000 pound boulder and you got to move it. Okay.
Uh-huh.
What principle are you likely to use? Think in terms of principle, right? What principle
Right.
are you going to use to move that boulder? 1,000 pound boulder.
Leverage.
You're going to use leverage, right? And
Right.
we're probably talking about maybe a smaller rock or something like that, right?
Right.
Put that next to the boulder, right? And then a sturdy stick of some kind, right? To
That's right.
go between them.
2x4.
2x4 would be the best, flipped on its side, right? So
Yeah.
it doesn't bend, yeah.
That's right.
And then apply some, put some downward pressure on the end of it, and that's called leverage, and scoot that boulder along, right? Okay, so leverage is a valuable principle, and it doesn't just apply to moving rocks. We have other things that we'd like to move. We have something very, very big that pool funding as a concept and an idea, something big that we want to move. Okay. Let me share my screen. Let's talk about that. It's actually on your account page, the website. So if we go to the website, you come down to the very bottom here, not all the way, but right to this one right here. Okay. You watch the beginning of this video. I'm not going to play it, but more than a second or two, because YouTube will strike me even if I'm playing my own videos. But let me just kind of jump a little bit. What you'll notice, see if I can make that big. Go to YouTube. What you'll notice is, all right, and then we'll make it big so we can all see it. Okay, so let's take a look at this little graph up from the video. The whole video is great. I recommend watching this video. It's available, so it's less than 8 minutes long, but it kind of starts out talking about a problem. Okay. If you look at that blue line, this is the wealth of the richest 1%, okay, in the world. The green line represents the remaining 99% of the world, okay? So according to this information right here, as of 2015, the 1% had just as much money and wealth between themselves as the remaining 99% of the people had combined together, okay? Let me just shrink this down, stop sharing. Let's get some feedback. Hey, John, you're new. I don't know. Have you seen that video? Did you watch that one in your back office yet?
I have not.
You have not. What do you feel about that? What do you think when you see the idea that 1% have 99% of all the money and wealth in the world? What's your first knee-jerk reaction to that?
It's unfair.
It seems unfair to you? Okay. I think you
Yeah.
probably find consensus on that. I think a lot of people would say it's unfair. So there you go. All right. Anybody here? We got a bunch of you here. Anybody here think that it's okay? Is there anybody at all that's gonna be on the other side of that? Like, it's all right. Anybody like that? I mean, technically, I'm one of the 1%ers, by the way. Anybody that's a millionaire or higher, you're in the 1% club. You know what I'm saying? But I don't consider myself very high up in the club. All right, I'm down at the lower side of that club. But if you're ever a millionaire or whatever, yeah, you're part of the 1% club. All right. So let me go back to that video again. Share. And if we go forward a little bit, it turns out that was 2015. I learned about it in 2016. It really set me on fire. Okay. Then I came across this article here. Okay. And according to this article, the richest 1% bagged nearly twice as much wealth as the rest of the world put together over the past 2 years. So they went from the 1% having 99% of the wealth to now the rest of the world, from this was this is 2023. So I guess from 2021 to 2023, the richest 1% doubled up, okay, on accumulating wealth, okay, and that means even less to be working down in the economies of the world, the regular people, okay. So hey Barry, can I call on you? Are you available? If not, let's try Gregory Jones.
Hello.
All right.
Mhm.
So what do you think about
By,
that?
by the way, before you jump ahead, can I quickly ask, so does that mean that the rest of us have around 1/2 of 1% of the wealth, and they have 99.5% of the wealth?
You're doing correct math. So basically a half of 1% is what the 99% get to work with in all the
Wow.
economy, in the whole global economy.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I was going to ask that question, but you went ahead and took the wind out of my sail. How do you feel about it?
It's I think it's extremely frustrating,
Uh-huh.
and I am hoping that pool funding is the answer.
Yeah. Well, you look at it and go, if this is a trend, didn't you notice the chart was like, it's a trend, right?
Yeah.
So if in 2 years, they double down on the trend, right? The 1%. It's not that we're talking about all 1%ers are evil or something like that, but I'm just saying that just how the money splits, But what's going to happen in the next 2 years? You know what I'm saying? Is it going to be a quarter, of 1% for the whole world to share? Is that what's going to happen? Right?
It probably will.
And then insert AI, insert robots, and now what do you got? Do they need people anymore? Right?
Yeah.
Right. So
It-
look, humanity has got to come up with a solution as far as when it comes to making sure that we have a way to, transact. We have to have a way to transact. And at some point we don't really want to be competing with a robot or the AI, because we know that at the end of the day, eventually the machine's going to be able to be economically more productive and more profitable for whatever that corporation is, right? So, but does that mean that we're just, so what? Or should we find a way that makes sure that people have funding and make sure that people have a way to live a life? What if this actually could be a good thing? What if this could lead to the, what I like to call the luxury economy, that, okay, it's fine, let the AI, let the robots take over everything, all the jobs. In the meantime, we could, enjoy luxury for a change, and that could be spread around for everyone. And we could all enjoy luxury, right? Where people have everything that they need and even what they want, because because it can be made cheaply and, effectively with computers, AI, robots, all that technology. And, fine. And then maybe some of us would have a different pursuit. Maybe some of us would be more into music, or some more into art, or more into, there's a lot of things a human being can do instead of work. Yes?
Ace, I like your future way better than the direction we're heading now.
Okay. Thank you for saying so. So, but how are we going to fund it? Okay. The answer is the market. Okay. But if we approach the market the way everybody else approaches the market, we'll never catch up to, where we can even make a dent in anything. Right. So if we keep doing things the way everybody else is doing them, only a few people will benefit. Okay. But if the objective is for the many to benefit, we got to have a way of pulling money out of the market where no skill is required. You don't have to be a trader. Okay. No skill, like push a button, get paid. Right? No skill. Fair enough?
Or
So-
push 3 buttons.
Or that. But you know, I mean, we remember the Jetson cartoon, right? Remember that? What was his job all day long?
It's
Breaking-
funny. I remember
breaking
the
boulders.
home. Oh yeah, yeah. No, that was Fred Flintstone.
Yeah, Jetson was
Jetson-
the future.
Who was pushing buttons?
Push, and he would complain about a sore finger, right? So
Yeah.
he'd be red and throbbing and pushing a button all day. That's what he had to do. Maybe we don't have to have that problem. Just push a button a couple of times and we're done for the day. You know, and then we can go back to our painting or our sculpture or whatever floats our boat. You know what I'm saying? We all have our different interests, but there are definitely a lot more things to pursue than just being in some kind of a grind or a mill where you're just grinding out a meager existence, right? And having less and less money with the shrinking purchasing power of the dollar and all that and blah 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 blah. Okay. Well, pool funding is leverage. Okay. So I want you to think about the leverage, because with that boulder, if we're going to move that boulder, you need a rock and you need a stick. Okay. Well, in pool funding, you need to have an operating budget, and you need to have a little team. Okay, that's your leverage. That's what gets you plugged into our system, and then each of us are doing our thing. And then pool funding is loaded with leverage in the sense that we've taken a coin that no one's ever heard about. Okay, and in the first week, it went from $100 to $10,000. Do you think we could have done that without the principle of leverage?
No.
No way.
In the first 6 weeks, the coin value went from again, it started at $100, right? From $100 all the way up to $64,000 in the first 6 weeks. PFB. Leverage, right? And you can kind of say that I love leverage, okay? And I want to use leverage as a way to give us power to pull money out of the market that doesn't require our members to have any real skill, other than that we just are nice to each other. Can you guys just be nice to each other, please? Maybe talk to each other and be nice. Can is that much to ask?
No.
But see,
Yes.
but that's
No, I
part
mean,
of,
it's not too much to ask. Sorry.
but that's part of the leverage. The more that you guys are nice to each other and actually talk to each other, the more that you show up to training, okay? Training is a form of leverage. The people that don't come to training, do you think that they're going to be very successful in pool funding if they don't come to training? They don't even watch the videos. How successful are they going to be in pool funding?
Probably
not
not
very.
very.
I think a lot of them are going to get sunburns. Why do I say that? Why do I say a lot of the people that don't come to training are going to get sunburns? Why would I say that?
Flying too close to the sun.
That was a good guess, but it's called pool funding. Have you ever spent too much time in the pool? Have any of you experienced this before?
Oh, yeah.
Sitting in the
Oh,
pool
yeah. Oh, yeah.
too long in the pool? You come out with a sunburn, don't you?
Yeah.
Yep.
Look, you're not supposed to be in the pool longer than a couple of days, guys. We got people in there, been in there for months. You know what I'm saying? But it shouldn't be like that. So basically, the idea is that if you have a sub account, you put some real people in there, you have them in there within a couple of days, and then that sub account is out of the pool and it's not becomes a qualified. Anything that's qualified is out, right? And then the other sub account, you put a couple people underneath that, then that sub account's out of there. I mean, that could all be done in the first week, but a lot of people that join and then they kind of kick back for some reason, thinking that's okay. They join and they don't even bother coming to training. So they're kind of missing out on leverage. They're not even leveraging their mind by coming into training. Okay. They're like putting nothing in. And those people that put nothing in and then expect a lot out, those people just have a bad attitude as far as I'm concerned, right? If you're going to think that just join something, we never told you it was an investment. We said it's an operating budget, like a $200 operating budget to make sure that, You had a good start, but then you got to do your part. Your part is bringing the real people, because sub accounts are not a replacement for real people. Some people don't hear that for some reason, you know. But again, all part of leverage. So anyway, we've got why are we pushing the coin value up so high? The reason for that is so that we could get more money out of we have 1 million coins. Okay, we have 1 million coins. That's how many coins there are in PFP. Bitcoin will have up to 21 million when they're all mined. There'll be 20, most of them have been mined, but once every Bitcoin is ever mined, there'll be 21 million. So that's 21 times more Bitcoin out there than there is PFP. Again, leverage. So everything we're doing is to create a highly leveraged situation. So as we gain strength in our memberships gets bigger and bigger and bigger, then it gives us more power to pull money out of the market so that our members with zero trading, zero skill of any kind can experience money coming to them. And it won't even feel like it's much effort to make that happen. Okay. So the training is more about learning how pool funding is, because pool funding is a new kind of thing. You know, you kind of have to learn about how this thing works. And, you know, perhaps maybe I see things and I created pool funding for a reason. And maybe you get to listen to me talk about certain things that maybe will make a difference, you know? We'll see. I mean, we all have our opinion. But anyway, if we want to change the dial on the trend of the 1% accumulating more and more of the wealth and money supply, at some point, all the money is going to be stuck behind someone's computer screen. And there's just going to be very few of them with computer screens that say they got a lot of money. And then the world's just turning to crap because no one out in the world in the economy's got any money to do anything, right? And we actually see situations like that, like certain places in Asia even. You see like these beautiful buildings on one side of the street and then total slum on the other side of the street, you know what I'm saying? And they're right next to each other, you know, where, you know, the wealthy have got their stuff and they're kind of, you know, they're kind of in their own little container, if you will. And they just ignore the fact that there's a slum across the street, you know? That could be the whole world at some point if we let that trend continue. And it doesn't have to turn out that way, okay? We need to have some of that money from the market, make its way back into the economies. That's what pool funding is doing. That's why we're applying leverage. That's why you see such a high price so soon with our coin. All this is happening for a reason. And all we need to do is just bring more people in, create that unity. And you have an incentive to do that, because if you don't, you're going to get a sunburn. Okay, guys? All right. I see a few more new people here, so you're all welcome. It's good to see actually some new people showing up to our training. We welcome everyone to our training. We do this 7 days a week. We do it every day at 10 p.m. Eastern time. Again, thank you for coming to another 10 at 10 for 10 training and leadership development. If you're here live, we really appreciate you being here live. And for those of you who are catching this on video, please be sure to give us a like and subscribe to our channel and give us a positive comment. That would do a lot of good. Thank you very much. Till next time.